Hi everyone and welcome to another video. After some hardware related videos, I figured it's time for something on the software side. I did notice in some of the comments on other videos that people are sometimes struggling to avoid the Microsoft account and instead use a local account on their PC when installing or upgrading Windows. For some time now, Microsoft has been pretty intrusive about pushing the use of a Microsoft account on Windows-based PCs. Over time, it became harder and harder to set up or upgrade Windows using a local account. On Windows 11 Home Edition even, you're completely stuck when you don't have internet access at first setup. Although having a Microsoft account could have its advantages, many people, including myself, prefer to make that decision on their own. In this video, I'll show you how you can work around the need for a Microsoft account and use a local account instead, including how you can switch back to a local account in case you already started using a Microsoft account and you want to get rid of it. Logging in with a Microsoft account, if you have one, allows you to synchronize settings between different machines and should give you the benefit of better integration with Microsoft services like OneDrive, Skype, Office 365, Cortana, and more like that. All of that, of course, results in sharing more of your data with Microsoft and having your data passing over the internet in the first place. Even if there might not be any bad intentions with the data, which I'm not really sure of, it somehow feels wrong. Another argument for me is security, as access now to your own device can suddenly be remotely controlled. The rest of this video has several topics. You can use the chapters on YouTube to go directly to the topic of your interest. I will start with explaining how you can avoid the need for a Microsoft account for a fresh installation or new PC for both Windows 11 Home and Pro. After that, I'll explain how you can add additional local users to an existing system, and finally, I'll show you how you can convert an existing user with a Microsoft account to a local user account. One final thing before getting started is that you can find everything that I will explain here written out in detail, including the required commands, on my blog, jensd.be. I'll put the link in the description if you're interested in that. Now, for the first part, I'll show you how you get around the initial setup wizard and get it to create a local account instead of a Microsoft account. After installing a fresh copy of Windows, or if you first boot up your new PC, a wizard will pop up that asks you for some required information to complete the installation. It asks for your location and preferred keyboard layout, and the next step is to create a user. As I mentioned in the beginning, Microsoft has been pretty pushy about only offering you the possibility to use their account, and you can really tell. For the Home Edition, which I will cover first, it's even impossible now to continue to start using your PC without any internet access. So that's the first scenario which I will cover, Windows 11 Home without internet access at the time of first startup. This is what you will see after installing a fresh copy of Windows or when starting a pre-deployed PC for the first time when there is no internet connection. This could, for example, be because you didn't connect the cable yet, skip the part of the wizard where you can connect to Wi-Fi, Windows doesn't recognize your network hardware yet, or you simply do not have a network card. As you can see, there is no option here at all to skip this part or to move forward. This means that you are completely stuck with setting up this machine at this point. Remember, I told you Microsoft is really doing their best to get you to use their account. The workaround for this involves opening a command prompt. To do so, press Shift F10 and if all goes well, you should see a command prompt window pop up. Keep in mind that on some PCs, typically laptops, this might be Shift Even F10. In the command prompt, now type the following. And once you press Enter, the system will immediately restart. When the system comes back, the wizard restarts from the beginning and you will need to reselect your country and keyboard layout. If you have previously skipped the Wi-Fi setup, do so again this time. Eventually, you end up with a similar screen as before, with the difference that there is now an option to choose I don't have internet. After clicking it, you get another warning, which you can skip as well by clicking Continue with limited setup. The next screen is what we want to see. Here we can create a local account. This also means that we were able to get past the issue with the lack of internet access. In the next screen, we can set the password. The last step is related to privacy settings. Now that we managed to get through the wizard, we can let the Windows installer do its thing. Eventually, we end up with our fresh Windows 11 desktop. And as you can see, we are using a local account. At this point, you can just reconnect your cable or connect to Wi-Fi without any issues. Everything will just work as you expect. Scenario 2 is when there is an internet connection available at the time of the wizard, either because you have connected to Wi-Fi or because you have internet using a cable. You either need to create a Microsoft account here or log into an existing one. Clicking on Sign In Options displays the following, and as you can see, there is also no option here to create a local account. To work around this, we need to disconnect the computer from the internet. Option 1 is to simply disconnect the network cable and click the previous button in the wizard. Option 2 is to disable the interface. This is the only option when you have connected to Wi-Fi, for example on a laptop. For this, we need to open a command prompt and disable the network interface. To do so, press Shift F10. If all goes well, you should see a command prompt pop up. On some keyboards, this might be Shift Fn F10. In the command prompt, type the following to list the interfaces known to the system. Then, disable the interface connecting you to the internet. So, in my example, the name of the interface was Ethernet and I replaced that in the command required. After these two steps, close the command prompt window. Now that the interface is either disconnected or disabled, you can press the back button in the wizard. If all goes well, after the installer does some thinking, the wizard now displays you the following and will allow you to create a local user. Again here, after entering the user ID, you can choose to set a password, which I prefer to do later using Ctrl-Alt-Delete to avoid the need to answer the mandatory security questions in the wizard. After going through the rest of the wizard and some additional waiting, we end up in Windows for the first time. Let me first quickly change the resolution, as something went wrong with that earlier. But as you can see, we do have a local account just as we wanted. The last thing we need to do here is to re-enable that network interface which we disabled during the wizard. If you went with the first option to disconnect the cable, you can just simply reconnect it and you're done. If you have disabled the interface using the command prompt, go to Settings, Network and Internet, and then go to Advanced Network Settings. Here we can click Enable on the adapter that we disabled earlier using the command prompt. That's it, you now have successfully avoided the mandatory Microsoft account. For the Windows 11 Pro edition, at least for the time being, you can avoid the need for a Microsoft account out of the box. The option to do so is hidden pretty well, but it doesn't require any workarounds, which was the case for the Home edition. When an internet connection is available, the wizard gives you the option to choose Setup for personal use or Setup for work or school. The first option only allows you to do this using a Microsoft account. The second one, Setup for work or school, gives you more options, so that's the one we choose. In the next screen, again you will see that the first option is to log into a Microsoft account. Here we choose Sign In Options. Next, although this is not clear at all, choose to use Domain Join instead. That option suggests that you will need to enter a domain account, but this is not the case and you're just creating a local account instead. Once completed, you can just click your way through the rest of the wizard and you will end up with a local user account. When there is no internet available with the Pro edition at the time of the wizard is displayed, in contrast with the Home edition, here you do see the option by default to choose I don't have internet. After choosing that, you get that additional warning as well, where you can choose Continue with limited setup. In the next screen, you get to create a local user account without any further issues. Once completed, you can just click your way through the rest of the wizard and you will end up with a local user account once more. So far, we managed to set up our freshly installed Windows without the need for a Microsoft account. Now I'll explain you how you can add additional local accounts without too much hassle. To do so, navigate to Start, Settings, Accounts, and choose Family and Other Users. In the next screen, choose Add Account. As expected, you are very encouraged to supply the Microsoft account login of the user you want to add here. But you can easily click on I don't have this person's sign-in information. Then choose for Add a user without a Microsoft account. And eventually you can supply the username and password for that user. If you like, after you have created that local account, you can also change the account type to administrator. This can be done by clicking on the account, user 2 in my example, followed by change account type. Although this required a few extra clicks, avoiding a Microsoft account here wasn't really difficult. As the last part of the video, I'll explain you how to convert your current Microsoft account user to a local user account. In case you didn't manage earlier to bypass the need for a Microsoft account, or you figured it would be a good idea initially but regret that now, you can switch that user account to a local account. Fortunately, this time Microsoft did not make this too hard to accomplish. The first step is to log into the PC using the Microsoft account and then navigate to Start, Settings, Accounts. Here we can see that the current user is using a Microsoft account indeed. Now to convert this user, click on Your Info. In Your Info, go down to the Microsoft account section and click on Sign in with a local account instead. Then, in the dialog, confirm that you want to switch this account to a local user and enter your password or PIN when requested. Here you need to provide a username for the local account and optional password to use for this user. Click Sign Out and Finish, and if all goes well, you will be logged out and have the ability to log back in with your freshly converted local account. That wasn't too hard, and that was it for the video. I really hope this can help you in case you're not a fan of using a Microsoft account like me. If you have liked this video, I'd appreciate a like, and if you're interested in more, don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel for more of the same. Thanks again, and hope to see you back here soon.